What should you put in a demand letter, or what should your car accident lawyer put in a demand letter? I recently came across a demand letter from one of the big advertising, billboard, television law firms here, and I was shocked because fresh out of law school, I could have written a better demand letter, and I knew nothing when I was fresh out of law school. It was horrible. If you used the AI, it would have been better than this large advertising Phoenix car accident law firm's demand letter. If you would have used, and I'm talking like if you would have used like ChatGPT 1, like the very first, it would have been so much better. My name is Garrick McFadden. I'm a Phoenix car accident lawyer, and I want to talk to you about what should go into a demand letter. Let's say you want to do your own demand letter. You don't want to hire a lawyer. Fine, let me tell you what you need to put in there. First, most critically, you need to have attached to your demand letter needs to be all your medical bills and all your medical records. The insurance company is going to want to go through there. Sometimes what I tell clients is if there's something complicated or funky or a little weird about your case, you probably want to give them 2 to 3, maybe even 5 years worth of previous medical records, just so that they can't say that what happened to you was a result of a pre-existing condition when it's something that's new. The other thing that you want to, in the actual demand letter, you want to say how the accident happened, and you need to make sure that liability is not an issue. You also want to talk about if you're in a small vehicle and you get hit by a larger vehicle, you want to explain how that force, like the exchange of force on that impact. The other thing that you want to talk about is what type of crash was it, right? Because not all crashes have the same mechanisms of injury. So for example, rear end crashes will hurt your neck and your brain. Sometimes if your hands are depending on where your hands are on the steering wheel, you can get jarred into it and it can cause carpal tunnel. If you are getting hit on a left turn, so you get T-boned, there's a chance that you could tear or dislocate your shoulder or rotator cuff. Talking about the mechanism of injury and relating it to the type of crash you had is something that you need to do established in the first paragraph or two. And one thing I like to do is make sure that I refer to the pictures that shows the damage. I relate to how much damage is done to the vehicle. If it's a total loss, now a total loss of a 2003 Honda Civic is different than a total loss of a 2025 G-Wagon. That's two different things. And so you want to talk about that. You want to talk about how your injuries, like what your treatment was. Give them a timeline. Provide a timeline of how you improved over time and any setbacks. And you want to talk about the personal aspect, what you could not do. If you're a new parent, like if you're a new mother, your child might be like, I might be feeling sad because you can't pick the child up and might start to regress a little. You want to talk about how this personal injury affected you personally. You want to humanize and make it not just another car accident that took place in Arizona or wherever it took place. You want to make it personal to you. Hi, my name is Garrick McFadden, and at GAMESQ, it's always your injuries, our fight, your win.